Do you keep starting your weight loss journey over and over again because nothing seems to stick long term? Today, I'm going to be sharing simple strategies you can use to make your healthy habits last. Welcome to the Fit and Fulfilled Show. If you're a busy professional woman who wants to finally prioritize your health and happiness, this is the place to be. I'm your host, Soraya Russell, certified macronutrition coach, mindset coach, and lifestyle transformation coach. And each week, I share strategies to help you build sustainable habits, boost your energy, and build confidence in your body without the stress, burnout, or overwhelm. Let's dive in. So I'm going to be sharing my 10-point system that my clients use to build healthy habits that stick, no matter if they have a demanding career, travel for work, or just have a lot of responsibilities in their personal and professional life. So the reason traditional advice does not work for you is because it's not built for you. It's built for people with unlimited time, schedules that are always the same when your schedule might be unpredictable. Another thing is a lot of advice is based on how to get motivated, not based on how to create systems that work. I'm all about systematizing things because even if you're not motivated, if you have a system that works, you're able to still do it. The first thing you want to do is tie new habits with habits that you already have instilled. For example, you could have a habit of sitting at your desk every day at 9 a.m., right? Tie that habit with drinking water. So say, every time I sit at my desk, I drink my water. This helps your brain kind of initiate the fact that, okay, desk equals water, right? So you tie those new habits together, making the second one start sticking, just like you sitting down at your desk has stuck. Your brain is a powerful thing, and if it already has a habit in place, that is set in stone. So just adding a habit with that is going to make it much easier to stick with it long term. The second thing you want to implement is the minimal viable habit. This is a game changer, especially if you're an all or nothing perfectionist type of person. So basically, it's like having a backup plan if you can't do the full thing you plan to do. So for example, you had a 45-minute strength training workout plan, you don't have time to do that. The backup option is going for a 10-minute walk, right? So always have a backup for the main habits you're trying to create. That could be water intake, sleep, exercise, nutrition. So for example, if you're planning to eat your lunch at home or bring your meal prep to work, right? If I forget my meal prep at home, I'm going to go to Kava and get a bowl. I'm going to go to Chipotle and get a bowl. Instead of just saying, well, I didn't bring my meal prep, so I'm just going to eat the pizza in the office or the food in the vending machine or skip meals altogether, you have a backup plan, the minimum viable habit. My perfectionist clients love this hack because it helps them get out of that mindset that if I can't do it all, I'm going to do nothing. Because you find that if you still do something, you feel better than if you did nothing at all. The third thing is you want to focus on who you want to become, not just what you want to do. Because if you only focus on the things you want to do, you're not going to do them consistently because you're not the type of person who does those things consistently. If you focus on identity over actual things, that identity will lead to you doing all the things. And this is done through affirmations, which is a big part of our program, something we have our clients do because it helps change who they are. For example, I'm Soraya 1.0. I can become Soraya 3.0 by doing affirmations. So an example of an affirmation is, I'm so grateful to have a healthy relationship with food. I'm so grateful to live an active lifestyle. When you focus on these identity beliefs, you start living that belief. So for example, if you said an affirmation or the affirmation you had is I have a healthy relationship with food, your brain starts believing that's true and starts operating from that place, right? But if you're only focusing on, let me only eat clean, let me not eat any fast food, that's not really who you are as a person. You're not focusing on your identity. You're just trying to make these quick changes and it's not going to happen. Identity-based change is going to get you much further than just trying to make small changes here and there when you're still the old you and not the new you. So a great way to start implementing affirmations is in the morning before you get up, before you touch your phone, write down 5 to 10 affirmations for yourself. So I just gave you a couple for example. And when you write these every single day, right? This is a habit you have to do over time. It's not just you look in the mirror one day, say, I love myself, and you start loving yourself. It's a daily practice. Just like you have to move your body every day, you have to train your mind every day to step into this new identity. So every morning you want to write down your affirmations, the things you want to focus on. And as you do that consistently, you will find that you start taking actions based on this new identity. And that's what leads to you changing your habits. A lot of my clients who come into our program, I tell them about affirmations. They're like, oh, yeah. I'll just focus on the fitness and nutrition. And they still get results. But my clients who take affirmations seriously from day one come out of the gate killing it, right? Staying consistent with everything because they are changing their identity, which leads to everything else getting done. The fourth thing you want to focus on is habit tracking over weight tracking. Because if you can create consistent habits, the weight will come off. But if you're only tracking your weight and not your habits, the weight may not come off. So while you cannot control necessarily how much the scale moves week after week or month after month, you can control your actions and your habits, which is why that's what you want to focus on. So our clients have access to something in our program called our habit tracker, and this is a great way to track habits, and it really helps them create progress. So the way it works is there a column where they put the habits they want to focus on for that week. And every day they check off, did I do it or did I not? Really simple, straightforward. Then at the end of the week, they give themselves a score. So maybe they got 80% consistency, 90%. Anything better than 0% is great, right? And so this helps them track their habits over time. And each week they can say, okay, maybe in this category I wasn't as consistent, so I'm going to focus on that next week. And so with them tracking their habits, they start seeing weight loss results because they're focusing on the things that help them lose weight, not just focusing on a number that requires the habits in order to achieve that number. You got to remember that habits lead to results and not the other way around. So when you track your habits, the results come. Number 5 is you want to design your environment for results. For example, having healthy snacks handy, having your water bottle on your desk, laying out gym clothes the night before you go to the gym. We are very visual creatures, and so what we see is typically what we indulge in. So if you're seeing that you have high protein snacks, high fiber snacks, complex carbs around your house, those are the things that you're going to go towards. If you see that your clothes are laid out the morning you're supposed to work out, you're like, well, the clothes are already there, so I'm going to go do my workout. If your water bottle is sitting on your desk, that's what you're going to reach for versus a soda or something else that you would typically reach for. It just makes it easier to make better choices when your environment allows for that. Number 6, which no one talks about, is plan for your menstrual cycle. This time of the month is much different than other weeks during the month, and so if you try to treat it like every other week, you're going to not be successful. So if you have very heavy flows, I recommend cutting back on intense exercise, focus on movement like walking, stretching, yoga, gentle movement, and focus on making sure you're fueling your body with a lot of whole foods, high fiber foods, nutrient-dense foods. You also want to make sure you're staying hydrated with water and add electrolytes if necessary. And as your flow starts getting a little bit less heavy, that's when you can start adding in a little bit more. So add back in your workouts, but maybe try not to lift as heavy. And then once your menstrual cycle is over, you can get back to your normal routine, but plan for it in advance. Another thing that I tell clients, especially during the menstrual cycle, is you might have more cravings. That's normal. Nothing is wrong with you. Plan in your cravings. So plan in a piece of chocolate in the evening, plan in a small cookie in the evening, plan in a couple scoops of ice cream. That's fine. And that's going to be much better for you than binging on ice cream or brownies or whatever it is uncontrollably because you didn't plan it in. Planning it in will help you have more self-control, portion it out, and not feel bad about having certain things during your menstrual cycle. Number 7 is you want to have accountability as you form new habits. I'm all about self-sufficiency, so with our clients, the goal is to make them self-sufficient so they don't need us, they're able to stay consistent on their own. But if you're trying to form new habits, it's important to have accountability so that if you have a hiccup, you have someone there to support you. If you have a question, you have someone there who can answer it for you, someone to hold you accountable as you're building those new habits. So find a coach, nutritionist, trainer that can help you focus on progress versus perfection. On our team, we actually have all 3 of those. So we help our clients with a well-rounded view of everything they need to be successful long-term and become self-sufficient. Number 8, have a non-restrictive reset plan. What I mean by this is if you miss something, kind of reset within 24 hours. But when I say reset, for example, I had a client a couple of years ago. She went on vacation. She came back and was like, oh, I got to eat super clean now. I got to work out 7 days a week to make up for what I did. And she had gained, I think, 2 pounds or something during her vacation. And I was like, listen, what you gained is likely water weight if you just go back to your normal habits. Nothing extreme, your 3 days of workouts per week, your balanced meals. I guarantee you that weight will fall off before the end of the week. And it did. It did, simply by going back to our same habits. So you don't have to do anything extreme, go on a cleanse or a strict diet after falling off the wagon, missing a couple days, going on a vacation. If you just get back to your normal healthy habits, the weight will come off. If you even gained any weight, and you'll get back to where you were before. So course correcting could look like yesterday, if you only walked 1,000 steps. Today, whatever your goal was, if your goal is to walk 7,000 steps a day, just get back to walking 7,000 steps a day. What a lot of women end up doing is they miss one day of doing something. They're like, oh, I'll restart on Monday. No. If it's Wednesday, you miss something, Thursday, course correct, right? If it's Thursday, course correct on Friday. This helps your brain realize and say, hey, if I get off track, I get right back on track. I'm not waiting for an arbitrary day like Monday or a new month. Number 9, timing optimization. Just because one person works out in the morning does not mean you have to work out in the morning. I have clients with different types of schedule and different types of energy, right? So I have some clients who have kids and it's important for them to get up before their kids to do things that they need to for themselves. So they might get up at 6, 7 a.m. to do their workout, whatever it may be, so that when their kids wake up, they've already taken care of themselves. I have some clients who are more so night owls. They hate waking up in the morning, and so they do their workouts, make their food in the evening, right? Some clients do afternoons. So you can't take generic advice because people have different time time schedules and energy optimizations, right? You got to focus on what works for you. So think about when you naturally have the most energy during the day. I'm not talking about when you're super energized, because right now you might not have a lot of energy, right? But when you have the most is when you want to focus on these activities like exercise, making your food, planning your food, whatever it is. Use the times where you already know you have the most energy, and that could be morning, could be afternoon, it could be evening. Number 10, which is very important for my perfectionists, good enough is good enough, right? This used to be very hard for me. When I worked in corporate, I was a very perfectionist person, has to be perfect all the time. And honestly, this perfectionist mindset can help you excel in your career, but it's going to kill your weight loss results because nothing is ever going to be perfect. Good enough will get you to your weight loss goal, but being a perfectionist will sabotage your weight loss goals, right? So understand that 80% consistency is still consistency. 70% consistency is still consistency. So if you just focus on that consistency over time versus getting it perfect, you're going to get to where you want to be a lot faster than if you try to be perfect. For example, you left your lunch at home, but you ordered a salad or a bowl from Yafo, Kava, Sweet Green. That's still consistency. You still made healthy choices. You missed your workout today, but you still walked your 7,000 steps. That's okay. That's consistency. And you made a plan to make it up tomorrow. That's still going to get you to where you want to be. So I want you to choose one habit this week and set up a system to make it something you're going to do on a regular basis. That could look like tying, for example, your water with when you sit at the desk, right? Your vitamins with your coffee. Just pick one habit and make a system for it. So thank you again for tuning into the Fit and Fulfilled show today. I hope you walked away with some actionable strategies that you can implement right away to start feeling more confident, energized, and fulfilled in your busy professional and personal life. If you found this helpful in any way, I ask that you please subscribe and let me know what you liked most about today's episode. It helps other professional women discover these strategies so they can start thriving in their own professional life. And if you're ready to achieve your health and wellness goals and lasting weight loss, I would love to invite you to apply for the Fit and Fulfilled Academy. This is our signature coaching program where we provide the guidance, support, and accountability you need with nutrition, fitness, and mindset to achieve and maintain your weight loss goals. You can learn more down below. Next week, we're going to dive into a brand new topic you're not going to want to miss. But until then, remember you deserve to feel as successful in your health as you do in your career. Take care.